Do I look like a man? 'Cause I feel like I look like a man right now. I feel like it's the makeup. But anyways, let's read some cheating stories, shall we? I found out that my daughter's fiance is gay. Nothing wrong with gay, but it is wrong when you're cheating. My daughter Dina has been engaged to Stan for a little over 7 months now. They are supposed to be getting married in November of next year. Stan is a wonderful kid. Who is named Stan? Literally the only Stan I know is Stan Smith from American Dad, and that's a cartoon. If you're named Stan, comment down below, please. He's polite, hardworking, treats my daughter well, and I instantly liked him when I met him. Maybe you're gay, Dad. Maybe you're gay. When he asked for my blessing, I was happy to give it to him, and our whole family was thrilled when she said yes. I want to preface this by saying I'm absolutely not a bigot. I do not hate gay people, and I accept people for who they are. Stan admittedly has some behaviors that trend towards feminine. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Miki has some feminine habits too. That doesn't make him gay. He does a lot of baking. He spends a long time in the bathroom getting his hair just right. He knows Broadway musicals by heart. Was a theater kid in high school and watches a lot of chick shows. A few friends and family members have questioned his sexuality to me, and I've told him that he is who he is, and Dina loves him for it. I am so sure Dina does. I'm so sure Dina is an ally. Recently, I ran into the mother of a boy my older son graduated with. When I mentioned Dina was engaged to Stan, she looked very surprised. When I asked about her reaction, she told me that she didn't think he'd end up with a woman. Now, why would you say that? Why would you say that? I went into my typical spiel about him just being sensitive, but she cut me off. She informed me that her son Matt is gay, and he and Stan had dated for 2 years. She brought up Facebook on her phone and pulled up her son's profile. As she opened the photos, there was no denying it. Matt and Stan were together, holding hands, kissing, smiling at each other, typical relationship photos that go up on Facebook. Stan wasn't tagged in any of the photos, but it's definitely him. They're from 6 years ago, and Stan has been with Dina for 2 years. She apologized for springing this on me, but thought I should know. Okay, well, him being with a man, that doesn't mean he's like gay. Could mean he's bisexual, but like, I don't know. I need to learn more about Stan. I told my wife, and after talking it out, we both agreed that we had to tell Dina. We sat down with her and explained what we had found out. Her reaction was not what I expected. She got angry at me for spying on him, told me I had no idea what I was talking about, and that he was not gay. I told Dina that I liked Stan, but I couldn't let her marry someone who couldn't love her as a wife. Damn. She was crying at this point and told me I was a terrible human being who needed to mind my own business and stop trying to embarrass Stan. I told her I didn't want to see her get her heart broken, and that if she was going to go this route, she needed to get a prenuptial agreement. Dina earns more than double what Stan does. Holy moly! And Stan is a gay man? Statistically, gay men make more than women. Of course, because women never make enough, right? But gay men, they reap the most benefits. So, like, Stan, what are you doing? Step your pussy up. She told me to mind my own business, and I didn't know what I was talking about. I asked her why I would make this up when I like Stan. I just don't want her to throw her life away. She told me she can't talk to me about this, and I don't understand anything, and stormed out. We have to pay a big installment on the wedding next month, as it's a year out, and I don't know if it's even a good idea at this point. Dina is not taking our calls and will not respond to us in any way. What do I even do here? I feel like I approached this in the best way I could, and it still blew up. Honestly, Dad, I feel like nobody wants to hear that their partner is not attracted to them. It's a lot to take in. I'm pretty sure she is still processing, so I think it's just you gotta give her time. So a lot has happened in the last week. Stan came to see us this weekend. He came out to my wife and me as pansexual. I had researched bisexuality, but not pansexuality, so I was a bit lost. Stan told us that he is attracted to people, not genders, but he's monogamous, so he wasn't lying when he said he loves Dina and wants a future with her. Oh, okay, then I was wrong. I just thought he was a gay bottom twin boy. I told him that we love him, accept him, and love having him as a part of our family. In all honesty, I'm a bit more accepting than my wife. She grew up with certain values, and she's having a very hard time with this. She's afraid that he's going to leave Dina for a man. I asked why she wouldn't be afraid of him leaving her for another woman. Clock it. Clock it. And she just shook her head and said, it's not the same. Well, I guess I can see that it's not the same, but like, cheating is cheating. If he's leaving her for another person, he's still leaving her for another person. Dina knew about this and did not want us to know. We, admittedly, trend right politically for financial reasons. She was afraid we wouldn't accept him and other family members would think badly of him. I hate that she felt this way because I love Stan and I love that he loves Dina. That's all that matters. Yes, love always wins. After leaving our house, Dina apparently told Stan that his secret has gotten outed to us and we wouldn't pay for the wedding anymore. She told him that part of his life was over and he needed to tell us that he was confused and was now 100% straight. They had a huge fight and Stan was ready to end the engagement. Honestly, I would too, Stan. Dina is talking to us again. She apologized for her reaction. She said that she had pretty much been able to bury the fact that Stan dated men in her mind because they're monogamous and getting married. But us bringing it up made her confront a lot of feelings. She sent apologized to Stan, said she knows she isn't going to magically turn him straight, and assured him she loves who he is. I'm happy for them and hope they can work it out. I don't know terribly much about LGBT issues, but I'm trying to educate myself. So apologies if I said anything incorrectly. What a good dad. You know, supporting your daughter and being understanding, practicing empathy, you know, and acceptance. That is very beautiful. Good job, Dad. Good job. So this wasn't a cheating story. It was just a dad worried about a daughter. That's what it was. Well, next. For months, I was confused why I kept finding long hairs in my house. Then I saw my neighbor coming out of my house. I'm a man in my 20s that lives alone on the very top floor of an apartment block. I've had short hair for the last 10 years of my life. The longest hair on my head is maybe an inch long, if even that. However, across my house, I kept finding long hairs on the floor, like long brunette hairs, at least 5 to 6 inches, sometimes longer, and they would be everywhere. Bathroom floor, in the shower, in my cupboard, oh my gosh, no. In my kitchen, on old clothes, the living room floor, and sofa, oh my god, no. That would bother me so much. I've been single since November and clean often enough that I'm certain it's not my ex-girlfriend's hairs. Plus, the color doesn't match anyway. She had solid black hair. These are more a light brunette. Plus, finding them in the place like the shower, where running water is hitting all the sides 5+ times a week? Okay, so you got a squatter. Guys, I picked these stories out because I thought they were gonna be cheating stories. What the heck? What do you mean you're finding hairs in your place and you're single? I didn't want you to find a squatter. Anyway, I waved it off as, well, I work with a lot of people and use the gym and bus sometimes, so naturally hairs are gonna stick to my clothes. Yeah, but like stick to your shower too? That doesn't make sense. One day, this past April, I finished my early AM gym session and got the call that I didn't have to go to work that day. So naturally, I start to walk home all happy that I have the day to myself. I'm on the 5th floor of the building and the apartment is in such a way that there's only one apartment per floor. I start to hustle up the stairs and don't use the elevator since I'm sweaty from the gym anyway. Just as I whip a right to go up the last set of stairs on the 4th floor to the 5th floor, I see my neighbors on the 3rd floor, daughter coming down the stairs. We lock eye contact. We've never spoken before, mostly because we've never had a reason to, but also because out of respect, I didn't want to make her uncomfortable since she's 19 to 21-ish, and I'm slightly older. The most interaction we've had is that I've spoken to her mother and father before when bumping into each other on the stairs. I gave a confused, hello. At this point, I'm thinking that she maybe went to knock on my door to ask for something? A cup of sugar, maybe? I don't know. I was expecting her to reply with something like, oh, hi, do you have any XYZ? Nope. She gave a silent, hey, and brushed right past me. And only then, when the smell of shampoo hit me, did I notice her hair was wet. Like fresh out of the shower a minute ago, wet. Now, I'm not saying she showered in my house, or that I have a stalker that's been living in my house while I've been at work. She very easily could have just been there to ask for something. and most generic brand shampoos smell the same. But don't the pieces all fit a bit too well? Her hair color matches the hairs I would find around my apartment. And like I said before, they were everywhere. In my bed to in my sock drawers. That is so creepy. And if it is a case of me having a stalker, how did she know I came home early enough to bolt out the shower in time? Our apartment doesn't have cameras. It's an older building from before 2000. And why would she be stalking me? For how long has she been doing this? We've never dated, never had a proper conversation. I maybe saw her 20 times in the past 2 years given that I work and she presumably studies or works too. As all these thoughts are buzzing through my head and I'm standing outside my door for a solid 2 minutes grappling what just happened, I go to turn the key to my door and it opens without me having to unlock it. That is so creepy. That is so creepy. Yuck. And I know for a fact I always double lock my door. It's a type with a lock near waist level and a second more secure lock with a different key around shoulder level. I drop my bag, throw off my shoes, and run to the shower. And yep, it's wet. I hadn't showered since yesterday morning. I'm a confrontational person. Not that I go looking for fights, but I'll definitely pursue an answer if something is bugging me. So back down the stairs to the 3rd floor I went. Knocked on the door of my apparent stalker and her family. She opens the door, but with the chain still on. I see half of her face from behind the door. Yes? Can I help? Were you at my door or inside? I don't want to make this a police thing now, but you came down the stairs and I know you were inside. I just had to get something. It won't happen again. Okay, bye, see you. Door closed. This happened last month. I've been cleaning my house every weekend closely now and got the locks changed and put a motion sensor camera above my door. It only films and triggers on the steps coming up to my door, so the 4th apartment still have their privacy. So far, so good. I don't think she's been inside since. But looking back, I think she'd been living in or going in or whatever into my apartment since January because that's my earliest memory of finding her hairs. Ew. She never took anything of my value, like my laptop or the few watches I have. Seemingly, she just showered and ate some of my food and laid in my bed. But that's so weird, like the bed is very intimate. She probably has a crush on you. I do now also always take the elevator and avoid the 3rd floor like the plague. Update! My cousin's husband is a police officer, so I went to him directly about filing a report. He came over to my apartment first as I gave him a visual breakdown of what happened on the stairs and changes, odd things I'd noticed in my apartment since January. Primarily, just hairs everywhere and missing food. And how my door was unlocked that day. Though I did a thorough cleaning following the event on the stairs, my police friend was still able to find some hairs, and so he backed those up. I gave my statement in detail and some dates best I could, when I remember finding the first hair, when I first noticed food going missing, etc. Also, he advised me not to talk to the family, not even with a friend, to avoid any confusion or get lawyers involved or muddy the waters with accusations. With all that done, he left and came back 2 to 3 days later. He and his partner went to talk to the family on Sunday because they knew both parents would likely be home then. Long story short, she confessed to everything immediately and broke down in tears and apologized once a police friend brought up how 5 months of entering someone's house, even with keys, is still very much an offense, and she could easily end up with a sentence of some should I pursue it. And that sentence could very easily involve the inside of a jail cell, irregardless of if she stole something or not. I don't know how true this is. It might have just been my friend and his partner pressing and exaggerating for a confession, but it worked. They talked for an hour with the parents and her all in the same room to get answers from her. Then the same day, he came up to mine with his partner and they gave me the breakdown. Answers to commonly asked questions below. How did she get in / have her own keys? The locks on the doors are the type that use a code on the lock barrel that only the manufacturer or partner / approved locksmith have access to. She knew this because her parents got the locks changed when they first moved in, and in fact, she used the same locksmith from all the way back then. The locksmith presumably remembered the family and apartment, but just didn't pay attention to it being the 5th floor this time instead of her own 3rd floor. So he came over and took the barrel out, saw the code, went and made a set of keys, and done. I was none the wiser. Both my locks on my door are different brands, but presumably they operate in the same way, so having 2 locks made no difference. What was she doing in my apartment? Anyone who said she just needed space, you were right. She has 2 younger step-siblings and her mother is a tutor, not a teacher as I presumed previously. She tutors at home. So at any given point, there's always some kids around the house. She would say to her parents she was going out to study or work or a girlfriend's house and use my house as a hotel while she studied and relaxed. That is horrible. The reason she used mine was partly because she knew it would be empty, but also because my schedule was predictable, as I work an average 9 to 5 like everyone else, but leave the house at 6:30 to get gym done too. That essentially gave her the house from 6 to 5. How long? My guess was right. It started in January. Once she figured I'd broken up with my girlfriend at the time around November. My girlfriend would stay at mine when I went to work and back sometimes, so yeah. That would have been an interesting situation if they'd crossed paths. So then how did she know I was coming home early that day and that I wasn't going to work straight after the gym like usual? And so she bolted out of the shower? Or on the days I didn't go to the gym, how did she know not to come in? Twofold. Oh gosh. Firstly, I go to a commercial gym in my country, and so they have an app. Irregardless if you're a member or not, one of the things the app lets you see is how many people are in each branch, so you can see how full it is. That is so creepy. All I have to do is download it and scan the QR code at the entrance by the turnstiles? What is that? I've never heard of that. To add it to the My Gyms tab. It literally shows you like branch number 21, address, 18%. Yeah. She would refresh the app in the morning, and if it went up by 1 around 6 to 6:30 a.m. and she heard me go downstairs or use the elevator, not hard when it's 6 a.m. and the apartment is otherwise silent, then she would know the house is empty. Now for the creepiest, most messed up bit of it all. Okay, all of that wasn't creepy or messed up. That was very creepy and messed up. Like hair all over your house, that's not yours, inside your cupboards. That would drive me crazy. I have long hair, right? I don't see my long hair in the cupboards. So what was she doing? She had put an AirTag on my car. She insisted that she had only put it recently and initially just presumably gambled that I wouldn't be home sooner than expected. Or maybe she just put an ear to the door. But then one thing led to another, and yeah. I don't know how much I believe this. Again, this could be an attempt to not look so guilty. That day when we clashed, she refreshed the app and saw that I left the gym. But then my car didn't move. She connected the dots and tried to leave ASAP. When she heard me coming up the stairs, she didn't have time to lock up, so we met on the stairs with my door remaining closed, but not locked. They're using my shower? She claimed she didn't do it always, just on hot days or days she couldn't at home. I can't deny or confirm this. Like I said previously, being a gym goer, I'd shower 5+ times a week, so. How did her parents never notice? Well, the dad leaves early for work, 5 a.m.-ish since his bus route starts around 6. The mom is up around 6 to 7. But since she's preparing for her own students for the day, plus her own kids to send to school, she wasn't too bothered what her eldest 20-year-old daughter was doing really. She'd just say, I'm going to the college library, or I'm going to my girlfriend's, and that was good enough. Did she have a thing for me, like a crush? My police friend didn't really say anything about this. Presumably he never asked, since it's not as important as other details, or it never came back. To be honest, maybe she did. Because why was she in your bed? She could have sat on the couch and laid there, but no, she chose the bed where you do your personal things. Why was she there? She has no reason to be there. She has no reason to be in your apartment, first of all. But in your bed? How's my standing with the family right now? The mom and dad both apologized to me. The mom via text and the dad in person at my door. He offered to pay for the camera I installed as his daughter was the direct cause of it, but it was cheap off of Amazon, so I said, no, it's fine. We had a 10 to 15 minute conversation and he was very apologetic and explained that his daughter had always been extremely quiet and well behaved, so something like this would have never crossed his mind in a million years. He added that his daughter's never had a boyfriend, at least that he knows of, and only has a few friends. so her social interaction skills aren't necessarily top-notch, and that even when guests would come, she'd hide away in the spare room. So to the few people who predicted that maybe COVID and lockdown led to her not having a good social interaction skills, you were half right. He again offered me money for my troubles like missing food, new locks, and cleaning, etc. But I felt bad enough already, I declined. He did also ask if I would press charges, and I again said no. He said he will send his daughter to apologize to me in person too when the situation has calmed down, as she's apparently very, very tense and upset and hasn't left her room in days. Am I going to press charges? No. I'm still not happy about the situation, especially the fucking AirTag on my car. But the family is apologetic, as well as the culprit herself, and honestly, no one is going to gain anything from this. I would like an apology though. For anyone that cares about the extra detail, she got the AirTag as a gift a while back from her parents because she kept losing her stuff. Have I seen her since? No. She won't apparently leave her room and is terrified that I'll press charges, though presumably her family told her I said I won't. How do I currently feel? I was never especially worried or nervous, just really creeped out about the whole situation. It felt like I had been a parasite host and somehow never noticed until then. I currently still feel a little angry, and a small part of me is thinking to seek revenge, but any revenge I seek, like money or slander, is truthfully going to impact the parents more than her. Do I feel bad for her? Truthfully, no. She's not 10, she's 20 or something and educated. So yeah, you should be remorseful, feel guilty, and scared. Get over that hump and we'll talk. Plus, there's loads of spaces for young adults like public libraries and her college spaces. By no means was my house the only viable option. Finally, did she use my bed or wear my clothes? Believe it or not, yes. She did. Any advice I can give? No, I'm not being stalked. That I know of. Someone commented, I'm concerned that they think she only wanted space because why the hell would she need to wear OP's clothes? Wouldn't be surprised if she was infatuated from afar and saw her chance to play pretend once a girlfriend was out of the picture. I agree. Okay, these are not cheating stories so far, but I'm kind of living for it. Since we're not doing cheating stories anymore, I'll just read this story. Would I be the a-hole if I broke up with my boyfriend because his friends got me a me-shaped piñata? What? I, 22 female, and my boyfriend Matt, 22 male, have been together for a year and 8 months. Matt and I go to different universities in neighboring cities, about a 45-minute drive. Matt is in a fraternity. Well, that's the end of the story here, guys. Like, that's all we need to know. It was Matt's birthday on Friday, and him and went out to dinner to celebrate. After dinner, I went back to my university since I still live on campus. The next evening, I was on Instagram and I clicked on one of our mutual friends' private story, and I saw Matt and a bunch of friends hitting and stomping on a piñata. By clicking through more of the stories, I figured it must have been a surprise party for Matt, since he had told me his only birthday plans were dinner with me. On the last slide of the Instagram story, I got a close-up of the piñata, and it looked exactly like me. From the hair color to the skin color, even down to my septum piercing. Yeah, the septum piercing is like personal. There was no doubt that it was me. I was really confused, and I screen recorded the stories, then I messaged a friend who posted the story. I asked her if that was me as a piñata, and she left me on red and removed me from the close friends story. Duh. Like, hello? How are you gonna post something about someone when that someone can see what you're posting? Don't piss me off. This just confirmed my suspicions. Right, because they're being so shady. The next day I texted him and asked how his party went, and he acted confused and said he never had a party. I was confused as to why he was lying to me. I told him I saw it on mutual friend's private story, and then he completely stopped answering. An hour later, he answered and said, yeah, the guys threw me a surprise birthday party. It's frat tradition not to talk about it though. That's when I asked him about the me-shaped piñata, and I sent him the video of him and his friends destroying it. He told me that it was not me, it was just a random piñata the guys had found. I told him to stop lying to me and that it was obviously me. I told him how hurt I was that he would allow his friends to do something like that, and all he could answer was that they would kick him out of the frat if he didn't accept it. I also brought up how if his frat had thrown him a surprise party, why wasn't I invited? I was only like 45 minutes away. I knew it wasn't because it was only guys, because the mutual friend who had posted on the story was a girl and goes to his university. And I saw in the story there were multiple girls there. Yeah, break up, girl. Ghost him and break up. He stopped answering me and hasn't since. It's been a day with no contact. I'm honestly considering breaking up with him over this girl. Why are you considering? You should already been broken up with him. Please. I've caught him in lies before. This is just too much. The video of him and his friend stomping on the piñata was just so disturbing. And to find out that my face was on it? We were planning on moving in together after graduation, but honestly, I don't know anymore. So Matt texted me back after a full day of incognito. He finally admitted that yes, the piñata was supposed to be me. He said it was just a joke and it was meant to be funny. I told him how disrespectful and disturbing that was. I ended up breaking up with him and told him I wasn't going to stay with a man-child who was going to disrespect me for the fun of him and his friends. Good. I'm so glad. Please, young women out there, please don't let these men do that to you. Please don't let these men disrespect you, walk over you. Nobody deserves that. Oh my gosh, like, how was your birthday? Oh, you know, my friends threw me like a surprise party and they made a piñata of my girlfriend and we all hit it and stomped on it. He completely lost it and begged me to stay. He was apologizing and saying he didn't want to lose me and blah, 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 blah. Because if he was feeling the way that he felt now, he wouldn't have participated in the piñata fiasco. After I made it clear I wasn't going to take him back, he literally sent me a video of him making out with a mutual friend. You being in a relationship with him was literally a humiliation ritual. He was feeding off of your freaking humiliation. There's no way. I don't know what the point of that was. Maybe just a final F you, but I honestly couldn't care at that point. I now realize how immature he was. I just blocked him. So yes, most of you were right. He was cheating on me. I'm thankful that I didn't move in with this jerk and I saw him for what he really was, an immature man-child. And yes, I will be sending the video to the university, though I doubt they will do anything. You never know until you try. I thought these stories were going to be about cheating off of the titles of them, but we just took like a hard right. We were supposed to go left, but we took a hard right. I still enjoyed them though, and I hope you did too. Please subscribe.